Yeah, even a hitman needs a bodyguard. Our story begins with a look into Michael Bryce's lavish home. Fully furnished, has guns, and girlfriend included. He's escorting Takashi Kurosawa, a Japanese arms dealer, and his wives. Lucky guy. They're joined by a convoy courtesy of his AAA bodyguard service. Highly coordinated and well equipped. No wonder he's successful. Michael wishes him safe travels as Kurosawa bows in thanks. Everything is going well. Almost boring.
What's our motto?
Boring is always best.
Oh, alrighty then. Fast forward 2 years and Michael has fallen. I'm surprised he fits in that bottle. Scratched car, scratched watch, and unmotivated. Michael sure has hit his lowest of lows. Anyway, we catch him going up a building to fetch his erratic client. Although fallen from grace, Michael is still a professional, taking the lead and calmly escorting his client to a safe exit. The client doubts his AAA rating, but as Michael calls for cleanup, we witness the numerous people he had to take down. Also, there's some explosives lying around, so call the bomb squad. Make it the fire department. Upon entering the car, the client kindly notes,
Smells like house in here.
it's a long way back to the top. We cut to Belarus, where a military caravan makes an appearance at this dude's home. They work for the president, Dojkovic. It looks like they're raiding this professor. How's your English? Not that good, he says before Dojkovic reads an eloquent passage the man wrote, criticizing the country's state of affairs. You know, politics, taxes, genocides, the usual. Where is your family? The professor claims they're on vacation, but then they get dragged in. I'll teach you a lesson now.
There is nothing more important.
Then a good education.
Very wholesome. Gary Oldman plays the best villains. Fast forward to the future, and this was all a memory the professor was recounting in front of the International Criminal Court. He adds that after his family's execution, he was taken to one of the president's internment camps for 3 years.
Without any evidence, this is merely hearsay.
Such is Lady Justice, blind and at times unfair. This is an ongoing trial over the alleged atrocities of the former president Dojkovic. Numerous emotional testimonies without strong evidence leaves the prosecution weakened. And disappearing witnesses does not help. Dojkovic is accused of being a brutal dictator, responsible for, cleansing. In Manchester, we meet the hitman, Darius Kincaid, currently being offered a chance to free his wife in exchange for testimony against Dojkovic. She's innocent, but okay.
Sonia goes free.
You simp. Despite the less than stellar deal, Darius happily signs. Next up, he'll be escorted to another city. Oh look, it's Michael's girlfriend, Interpol agent Amelia Russell. She'll be in charge of Kincaid's security on their way to the ICC. Kincaid laughs at the feeble squad, making it a point that the former president had all the witnesses killed. These are the most highly trained officers in Europe. I'm prepared for anything, don't you worry, bro. Was you ready for that? Kincaid believes he'd be better off alone, but that won't be an option. She encourages him to get serious, for Sonia's sake. Okay, fine. On the way, Kincaid's observations of the narrow road and close buildings are brushed off, as they made sure the route is secure.
How's it know that you was doing?
The agents get tense as Kincaid laughs away. Why am I calling him by his last name? Anyway, their nightmares are realized. The car Darius was in was expertly targeted and the rest are surrounded. The agents fire back, but they're outnumbered and one by one they fall. Amelia has to work with Darius if they want to survive. The hitman toggles his aimbot, mowing down numerous henchmen before getting shot. Amelia chases him, resolute in finishing her mission. However, Darius refuses to be cuffed. Might as well shoot me. Oh, thanks. He adds that the Interpol must be compromised, so they head to a nearby safe house. At the safe house, Interpol is calling, but to Darius's behest, Amelia doesn't answer. Instead, we're back with Michael as Amelia calls him. To his dismay, it's not a booty call. She instructs him to go to their address while bringing 3 batches of blood. What is he, a vampire? Haha. Michael's uncooperative, playfully denying her plea for help. Amelia's out of options, so she threatens to expose his work to the Interpol, which would make his climb back to the top impossible.
Oh, you're threatening me now. Not you, her.
Must have been a messy breakup. Michael is forced to agree. Back to the scene of the ambush, Interpol agents update the director. Realizing there's a leak, she sends the assistant director to get information from Dojkovic. She also instructs him to increase the security around Darius' wife, Sonia. I don't know, I wouldn't trust this guy. In Amsterdam, we meet Sonia, who receives a call from her attorney.
What do you want, you useless piece of shit?
Oh, it's her husband. That somehow made it worse.
Thank you.
Must be their love language. Darius operates on himself and advises Sonia to make a shank, to protect herself. But it's a Dutch prison. What are they gonna do?
Beat me with a clog?
Anyway, like any good wife, she grills him for being a lousy husband. When's our anniversary? He can't answer as he's busy finishing up the operation.
Is something wrong?
Sonia grows a bit concerned, but he assures her everything is fine. Then he serenades her. Romantic. Sonia erupts, even the guards are afraid. And don't get me started on her cellmate. You can stay in timeout. Michael arrives at the safe house. and it's a warm welcome. Amelia does her best to explain the situation, but Michael is stuck in the past. He still blames her for the Japanese guy. I was up here, then I opened up to you. I revealed a client's name for the first time because I loved and trusted you.
Now I'm down here. The dead guy's up here.
Remember, she's an Interpol agent, and he thinks she used him to rise up the ranks. Darius can't help but overhear the soap opera and gets up to listen closer. Without a doubt, it was a messy breakup. Michael keeps spewing complaints until finally,
I never used you. I just left you.
you couldn't forgive me for something I didn't even do. He's down for the count, and Amelia points him to his high-value transport. He walks over, and they longingly stare into each other's eyes.
What the?
Oh, they already know each other. Wonderful. After a small back and forth, Michael's left pinned to the wall.
So how long I've been waiting for this?
Kinky. However, Michael gains the upper hand with a kick to the leg, but Darius ends up with the blicky, though he eventually faints from blood loss. Alright, let's carry him back to his room. You get the legs.
I'll get the nostrils.
That's one way to do it. Back to the boomers, the former president is listening to a news broadcast as Interpol's assistant director, the totally not obvious mole, talks to him about wanting payment. Okay, things didn't quite go according to plan, but Darius is practically a sitting duck now. It's only fair that you still pay me. In my country, we would skin you like cat. That ain't cool, man. Dujkovic's anger flares up as he recalls how he dedicated his life to serving his country's people, only to be locked up. Poor guy. The mole cowers in fear as we come back to Darius regenerating HP. Michael expresses his annoyance over protecting a man who nearly killed him 28 times. Amelia pushes him into escorting Darius to safety, noting her connections and ensuring his return to elite status if he does this. Why would I trust you?
Because I've never lied to you, Michael.
You're terrible at almost everything, but you're good at keeping people alive. Thanks, I guess. Amelia adds that as a bonus, he won't see her ever again. Michael is definitely down bad, but pretends he's not, so he acts delighted. We come back to Madam Director, still clueless over the Assistant Director's treachery. She receives a report that a safe house was activated without authentication. Suspecting it's Darius, she sends a team over. Meanwhile, the Assistant Director promptly informs his actual boss. The bad guys make their own preparations, and so we meet several henchmen speaking Russian, or whatever. Ivan is their alpha, and he demands Darius's head, but not in the fun way. Back to Darius, who wakes up cuffed, but dressed up. So, almost kinky. He complains about the lame hipster clothes and the underwear. Apparently, he prefers the free ball. Kind of based. Uh-oh, the Interpol and the henchmen are here. So Michael gets to work and assures Darius that he's here to protect him from harm's way. But
I am harm's way.
very cool. The building is filled with agents and minions, but they somehow sneak away with relative ease. Just kidding. Darius insists on making a lot of noise. The hitman doing his thing leaves the bodyguard pissed. After all, everyone is alerted to their presence. They head for the rooftop, but stealth proves useless as a helicopter detects them. Michael carefully analyzes the situation, but there's no time for that, so
More intelligent way.
Michael is not entertained, but he's pressed for time, so he descends using the scaffolding. Surprisingly, they bypass any detection and quietly get into Michael's car, which Darius calls theft-proof because it's so shit. Then, Darius begins to reminisce about his past before Michael interrupts him. I know all your early arrests, your father in and out of prison, and you following in his footsteps. Darius is amused, so he reads Michael, claiming that he wanted to be a cop but found out there wasn't money. So he joined the CIA, sharpened his skills, and opened up his own shop.
Pimp yourself out to the fat cats.
I didn't even research you or anything. It's written all over your stupid face. Michael doesn't deny anything and then suggests laying low, literally. Darius concedes, but
Smells like ass back here.
also, these are electrolytes? Stay hydrated, kids. The two may have given Interpol the slip, but with facial recognition, they identify Michael. Emily is at the scene and gets reprimanded for her connection to him. You're fired. She's annoyed, but confident that Michael will safely return Darius. As she walks off upset, the sly assistant director swoops in. He says,
No more secrets.
while keeping secrets. Amelia departs and he makes a call. Search for car, plate 42069. Time for a new whip. They've probably spotted us on traffic cams by now. Welcome to the fugitive life. This car will do. Just gotta get my cool lockpicking kit and... Great, you're bleeding again. A killer afraid of blood? I don't kill people. I protect them. But Darius reminds him of an apprentice he killed. No. I was protecting my client. The two banter over the validity of Michael's AAA status. Oh, sorry, he was a AAA agent.
I was a AAA X-rated dickhead.
He digs into Michael's dwindling career, but gets hit with the reverse Uno card. How did you let Interpol catch you? Love, baby.
Straight up love.
He was in the middle of a job when he got a call that Sonia was in a bad car accident. He flew to Mexico, and at the hospital,
2 dozen agents waiting for me.
he passes the ball back to Michael. After all, he knows how Amelia took him,
And here, to hear.
He knows he's a tight butt control freak, so he asks why Michael got dumped. There's surely a plethora of reasons, so he wants specifics. Michael changes the topic to discuss his safe and logical methods while criticizing Darius's. How many times have you been shot? Like today? Meanwhile, Michael claims he's never been shot, but Darius brings up that one time. You're lucky I slipped on that rock. Fuck! Darius questions Michael's AAA service once more. Since Michael never took a bullet for a client, that extra A should mean ass. Yours, between mine and a bullet. The esteemed bodyguard rejects his reasoning, insisting that preparation is everything. No need to take a bullet if it never comes. It's not long before the conversation devolves into a cursed singing battle. No more, please. We check in with Sonia, who's questioned about Darius's location. Seeing as they lost him, they figure she's their best hope.
That is your job,
Goddamn. They implore her to consider her husband's safety, but no one can kill Darius. He's unkillable.
The man is a cucaracha.
Oh, I have one more thing to tell you guys. The henchmen track down Michael's car and enter the motel to check the cameras. But that's for managers only. After a little choking, the motel receptionist can't help but submit to the alpha. Unfortunately for our beloved runaways, the henchmen just picked up a signal leading to them. Back to the boys, enjoying each other's company. This time, they're taking a longer route, another one of Michael's well-thought-out plans. Darius needs to piss, but that flask might fit you, but it won't fit me. They pull over. Darius does his business, and Michael has a lapse in focus. Huh, clever boy. Michael panics as Darius takes control, but actually, he's not that stupid. Uh-oh, the baddies are here. However, the boys are quick to come up with a plan. Okay, on the count of 3, I go left and you go right.
1.
Darius don't got time for all that. Now that that's all taken care of, it's time to dash. Perhaps no. Michael's intricate plans have gone to waste. Thanks to this. A phone Darius picked up from a dead henchman. For absolutely no good reason. Why, Darius? Why?
My bad.
It's truly a miracle that he survived this long. I just do my thing, and my thing has always been better than your damn thing. Michael has had enough, so they head for the bad guy's van. Ruh-roh. Darius is the only one amused. He apologizes as they push on through a cow field. He also inquires on Michael's plans for Amelia. He wonders how being a AAA agent is going to give Michael an all-access backstage pass to Amelia. Darius continues with unwarranted love advice, but gets cut off by an angry Michael, which only makes Darius even happier and noisier. After all, what is life without love? A defeated Michael asks how he met his wife. Time for a flashback. On that fateful night, we proceed with a sensual reimagining of Sonia beating up perverts at a bar. She is beauty. She is grace. She will punch you in your face. We stay rhyming. After a few more brutal shots, Darius is left awestruck. As their eyes meet, the story ends. In the present, a minibus drives by and agrees to give them a ride. They're heading for Amsterdam with a bunch of nuns. God bless. On the road, the Hitman is popular with the ladies. His bodyguard, not so much. They're dropped off and Darius has an epiphany. Who is more wicked?
He who kills evil or he who protects them?
Michael is shook. Their ferry ride is peaceful, just the right time for Darius's backstory. He was around 16 or 17 when he first took a life. A guy killed a local preacher in his own church. His body left at the altar for all to see. A young Darius bared witness to the crime and took matters into his own hands. I'm one of the good guys. So how did good guy get involved with a dictator? Well, Darius doesn't know everything about his clients, just like Michael. It seems these two have more in common than they initially realized. The pair safely make it into the safe house, but Michael doesn't remember his passcode, so it's time for a magic trick. As Michael opens the door,
Jesus Christ.
Darius reveals that he has wall hacking enabled. Darius has to wash up, so he heads upstairs. 4 more hours until deadline. At the court, Dojkovic's lawyer denounces Darius's reliability as a witness given the circumstances. However, the court maintains that because Sonia is the one being set free and not him, it's chill. The bad guys aren't too worried about this as they have a plan B in the works. Amelia receives a call from Michael, a little update and an emotional,
I forgive you, Amelia.
Guess what? She's furious. Forgive me for what?
It's nothing to forgive.
That didn't go well. Well, better get Darius to court. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Well, clearly Michael is an idiot. The witness is missing and his water bill is piling up. Outside, Interpol and henchmen surround the city, all on the lookout for Darius. Meanwhile, their target is buying flowers. Michael follows close behind. Wherever Darius goes, Michael stealthily takes care of any danger coming his way. Darius eventually leaves the flowers on the tower across Sonia's cell. Maybe he ain't so bad of a husband. Michael's been busy saving his butt and is rightfully irritated. But at least this time Darius is in a sentimental mood. This might be the closest I'm going to be to Sonya for a very long time.
Had to be special.
I shot him first. Darius rationalizes his action by going over Michael's past with Amelia. What would you have done for her?
Anything. I loved her.
She's got to be a pretty special gal if she can put up with all your rules and shit. Yeah, no kidding. Let's not forget forgiving her for something she didn't do. Darius chimes in with a lesson on women. They don't like to be forgiven, because that means they did something wrong. Michael opens up about the Japanese guy and how Amelia must have exposed him.
Our popcorn sour.
Apparently, he was in town for a completely separate job when he just happened to spot an extra Japanese paycheck. He made the shot from an impressive 300 meters away. Michael is shook. It's been 2 years, but it's hard to move on. They throw insults at one another as Michael walks away. The perfect way to cope? Day drinking. Michael vents his frustrations while Darius finds his way to the court trial. And the party begins. Interpol and bad guys are locking in on Darius. Meanwhile, Michael is still whining. He ruined the word mother effer.
You know how hard that is to do?
Well, he did make a career out of it. Time for a high-speed chase. Darius gets a head start by getting on the side of a tram, and with the henchmen and Interpol distracting each other, he manages to get on a boat. Thankfully, Michael makes for a great stunt driver as he weaves through the crowded streets and traffic, inching closer to Darius' location. It's a straight, narrow canal, but thanks to Stormtrooper aim, Darius doesn't get shot. And his trusty bodyguard is right behind. Nice one, buddy. The bad guys take advantage of the confusion, the Interpol taking L's left and right. Michael demonstrates his AAA skills as he continues distracting Darius' pursuers and taking them out of commission. Darius gets a little breathing room and fights back a little. It's still not clear though, a bazooka is blocking his way. But of course, the guy has to pause for dramatic effect, giving Michael just enough time for... And with a little gesture of appreciation from both, Darius speeds off. Uh-oh, Michael got, but Darius saw everything. Meanwhile, Ivan is sent back to Dojkovic. Must be for plan B. Back to Michael, who is now strapped in, ready to be interrogated.
Where is Kincaid?
He's scared and would wholeheartedly tell the truth if he knew. See that? Scout's honor. Honesty is underrated. Now we have a wet towel, a jumper cable, and rubber gloves. Unfortunately, Michael isn't used to this kind of BDSM. Where is he?
Behind you.
They don't believe him, but it do be true. His knight in shining armor has arrived and quickly dispatches the foes. Now the boys are back on the road, and just as Michael wakes up, Darius immediately apologizes for the Kurosawa dilemma. However, Michael becomes emotional and blames himself for everything. It's not your fault, man. That's life. Life happens. Despite the encouragement, Michael is still down and has now abandoned all hope for Amelia. Man, there's still time for that. Anyway, how'd you two meet? Flashback to a client's funeral where Amelia is working undercover. Interpol was trying to get Michael's client's brother, and it got messy, to say the least. Michael was busy chugging drinks when right on cue... Oh my god, I fell on you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is life. It just happens. The two end up arguing again, but this time Darius loses his cool. We're reminded that if Darius doesn't make it, Dojkovic goes free, and his men are ready to make sure of that. At a car park, Michael is beginning to doubt the outcome of their mission and considers breaking Sonya out instead. But Darius is determined to take Dojkovic out and owes Michael his AAA status back. Suddenly, they spot a stunning Jaguar, but they gotta blend in, so... Darius is not amused. God damn. Darius stealthily takes care of the deployed bags before kindly asking to switch seats.
Why are we always yelling?
Back in court, Amelia spots the assistant director's sussy wound. Michael calls her, and this time he gives a heartfelt apology. Unfortunately, the boys get spotted, and just before Michael says the 3 words every girl wants to hear... What happened to the seatbelt rule? They split up while getting chased. Darius goes off-road and keeps Amelia updated while Michael goes through the subway. No assist this time. But slowly, the bad guys dwindle in number. Darius gets the all clear on the highway while Michael makes his stand in a kitchen. Even a rolling pin is a weapon for this guy. Ivan catches up to him and chases him to a hardware store where Michael axes him a question. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, the axe doesn't cut it. I'm sorry. Michael tries a nail gun and then a chain. Ultimately, he has to ask for an assist and the reluctant handyman obliges. Just in time, his Uber arrives.
Tick-tock, mother...
The two finally make it to their destination, but they're cutting it a bit too close. Come on, man, how many guns do you have? With just 2 seconds remaining, the court acknowledges the arrival of their star witness. Amelia thanks Michael for his services and...
Bumping into you is the best thing that ever happened to me.
He's back in, boys. The witness gets sworn in. His real name is Darius Evans. He elaborates on his past. We come to learn that the preacher he avenged was in fact his father. He confesses he never worked for Dojkovic, but they've met. In Dojkovic's palace, Darius declined an assassination job offered to him. He refused when he spotted Dojkovic ordering the slaughter of a village. I'm not down with killing innocent people. And he's got evidence. Password is
Djokovic is a dick, all caps, except dick is lowercase.
classy. Multiple images pop up on screen, and if that's not hard evidence, I don't know what is. Naturally, this causes a commotion. Dojkovic signals for Plan B and he takes a stand. And of course, the cowardly mole runs away. Dojkovic ridicules the lengthy trial and confirms he is guilty on all charges.
I am the rightful ruler of Belarus.
But he goes on a tantrum. My nation, my rules.
I recognize no authority that limits my power.
Amelia runs after the assistant director while the court is in chaos. And Plan B is in full motion. They restrain the rampaging director while the truck speeds towards the building. The former dictator makes the most of the chaos and takes aim.
That's what I call AAA service.
Oh damn, no joke. He really did just take a shot. A worried Darius calls for medical attention, but Michael implores him to finish Dojkovic. Dojkovic's men hijack a hospital helicopter, and another mole takes care of his escorts. Amelia is preoccupied with that rat while Darius hunts down Dojkovic. Darius reaches the rooftop but is intercepted by a knife-wielding goon. Meanwhile, Amelia is getting choked, but not in the fun way. Fortunately, a barely conscious Michael pulls up and saves the day. Back to our hitman, he's finally caught up to Mr. Bad Guy. But the helicopter arrives. Oh, did I do that? Dojkovic laughs at Darius' attempt at a heroic act, emphasizing that there's no redemption, no atonement for a man like him. He beckons to be finished, but stresses that Darius will not change. He doesn't care.
You
Falafel.
when you shot my bodyguard.
With an impressive Spartan kick, Dojkovic is no more. Cut to the lovebirds, reconciling and thinking about the future. Darius disturbs their moment of peace and his deal is granted. Sonia will be going free. Amelia heads off and Darius congratulates Michael on his all-access backstage pass to Amelia's assets. Michael tempts Darius into running away, but he's gotta make sure that Sonia's free.
Then I do my thing.
Sometime later, we're at a bar. Darius has broken out of prison and the couple reunite for a slow dance on their anniversary.